Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is Emily Hanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. Today we are here with a bit of a makeup playtime. So I was directly inspired by the lovely Hannah Louise Poston, who just posted a video playing with the Clionadh stained glass collection. She received like 10 or 12 of the shadows in PR. I'm like, sometimes I don't think I have willpower, like in a lot of parts of my life. And then I remember that I have not purchased any of the stained glass shadows from Clionadh, and I realized like, hey, maybe I do have some willpower in me. I think that whole collection is just like, it's enchanting. I would love to own all of it. I would love to own a quarter of it. Like Lacey and I have talked about, if there was any brand that you could like beg to get on their PR, it would be Clionadh for those stained glass shadows. But I don't own anything from the Clionadh stained glass collection. I do, however, own some different pressed multichromes from Divina Cosmetics and Beauty Escapes Cosmetics. And after watching her video, I just realized I haven't really given those shadows the kind of love and attention that they deserve, especially before I even think about purchasing any shadows from the stained glass collection. Where I'm at mentally, I'm thinking I may try to wait till around my birthday, which is in November, and then make a purchase. But it all depends. It all depends on when Clionadh restocks them and budget. For now, I have some beautiful shadows that I can play with. So I swatched them all, which I've done many times, and I have a feeling of what I want to dig into. I was inspired by Hannah, especially because of the way she layers and plays with shimmers and textures. I say this in a complimentary way. Hannah's unafraid to like play with chunky and interesting textures all over her eyes. She and Mia of Mia's Virtual Vanity always inspire me because they have a very like painterly way of playing with shadows, and I love it. So I think I'll zoom in a little closer and I'll just start playing with one eye. I do plan on wearing this out, so we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna do something that might scare some of you all. I'm gonna put glitter glue all over my lids and upwards, and probably as we get right at the brow, I'll just like tap out the texture so it's not so intense. For anyone that hasn't worked with glitter glue before, a little bit goes a long way. I had barely like grain of rice size amount, and I still have some on my finger that I can feel, and I could have put even less on this eye. I'm gonna get moving quickly because I know this will dry down. So when I swatched everything, this color right here was the one that really drew me in. I'm gonna also be a little bit inspired by Hannah and just going with my fingers for now. And my initial goal is to pack this all over the lid and carry it up. I have lip balm on my finger that stained my finger. Great, cool, awesome. Sorry about that. That's just gonna be there. And I think you can start to see the really cool thing with a lot of these duochrome and multichrome shadows is that there's a base color in there that if you buff out, and you can do this with a brush or with your finger, if you buff it out, you'll start to just see that color. I hope that's showing up on camera, but I can tell in the mirror that it's buffing out really nicely. So I just grabbed my two favorite brushes. This shape right here will really pick up shimmers and apply them very nicely without using your finger. And then this is my favorite, like, blend out, kind of pack on and blend out brush. These are both Coastal Scents. I'm grabbing the blending brush, and for now I'm not putting any more product. I just want to kind of run it down here to pick up any extra product and help buff out. The eye was really looking good. I don't even think this is necessary, but I just want to make sure that I don't have any weird edges from where, you know, my fat little sausage fingers can't reach. But that alone is a freaking stunning one shadow eye. Like, I could clean that up and do mascara and I would be super duper happy. But Hannah inspired me to layer my multichromes. So there's a color also in the palette. This I know for sure is from Beauty Escapes. It's a more smoky purple and it definitely has flashes of other colors. But I will say it seems like one of those colors that might be a little bit too, what's the word? Come on. Channel Hannah's articulate vocabulary. Seriously, her vocabulary inspires me. I think the shifts in this purpley shade are a little too finite. That's not the word, but they're a little too finite to really pick up at least what I can see. But I've only swatched this particular shade, so I could totally be wrong once I start playing with it. And I'm gonna focus this on the outer portion of my eye. Oh, I was totally wrong because as soon as I put it on my eye, it shifts teal like crazy. Huh, okay. So that's why you play with your makeup, because sometimes you don't know anything. Ooh, okay. And I picked that up with a blending brush and that applied beautifully. I cleaned my brush off with a color switch and I just want to try to blend these two together. And I think I'm going to put on some more of the first color, just because. So the first shadow that I use is a Divina shadow, and it definitely has a more flaky texture. It picks up beautifully with the finger, and I think it would pick up just fine with this style of brush. But with this fluffier brush, it only grabbed the very top flakes of pigment. So I don't recommend this brush as much for picking up product, but once it's on the eye, you can definitely use this to buff out your edges and really bring that duochrome multichrome base out to a nice blend out. I'm gonna try one more thing on the darker end of the spectrum before I move on to anything lighter, and that is this color right here. It's looking green on camera and purple in the pan. I would love to just have like a tiny bit more depth and contrast right here. And right now for the edge of my eye, I'm blending everything out. I'm probably gonna end up cleaning it up to a sharper line because I don't have any base makeup on and I don't really know where I want it to end, so I'm just like ensuring a bigger boundary than I'm going to need. I'm still just in play mode. I'm going to pick up some of this dark navy color from this Suva Beauty Block Party palette and pat it right out here. That definitely brought some depth to that corner of the eye, and I feel like I could clean that shape up nicely and feel like I have kind of like a dark outer C shape, and then I can move on to some highlighty colors. I really adore the candy exploders that Divina has created. They're the pastel shifters at the top of this palette. They all do different things. I feel like the teal has kind of overtaken this look, and I would love to maybe bring out a little bit more of the purple. And while this shifter that I'm going to use definitely has a blue base to it, it has a purple shift. I'm hoping that will highlight the purple that we have happening. I'm going to start at the inner corner. Ooh, those are so oh, I always forget how beautifully reflective these are. Okay. I appreciate what this color is doing in this spot. I think it's very pretty. Okay, definitely reads very blue. But I'm not upset about that. So, I'm gonna hop off camera. I'm going to do the second eye, clean everything up, do all my face stuff, and then come back to do the lower lash line on camera. I'm working on this second eye, and I just had a thought that I wanted to make sure I communicated. So something that Hannah really inspired me with is that she layers mattes over shimmers. And having done that a couple of times, the thing that I find super helpful is, because I have that really sticky glitter glue down first, the shimmer, multichrome, duochrome, whatever shadow really sticks to that. And then when I go in with a powder shadow, I can lay it down, but then really like press and kind of buff it in. I don't know if that's considered buffing, but really press it in. And I feel like the multichrome picks up as much of it as it can kind of take in without taking away the shine and shimmer that's there. So just, especially if you're using a glitter glue, whether it's the NYX one or your Too Faced one or whatever brand you trust and used before, especially when you're using something like that, you can really kind of rough up your eyeshadow a little bit. Obviously, if you're gonna do this technique, do your eyes first and then your base. Whenever I do my eyes before my face, I tend to clean off a lot of my inner corner color with the lower lash line before going with concealer. So to help that inner corner color stick without applying more glitter glue, which can end up looking cakey and kind of gross on my inner corners, I try to remember to apply my inner corner color again before I powder. I often forget, but if you remember, it'll stick right down to the concealer and it will shine pretty beautifully. I'm gonna take another multichrome. And I'm just layering this multichrome up here, that deep purple teal. Eye shape was a little weird for me, but I'm trying to just live my life and keep it moving. If this isn't dramatic, I don't know what is. This is definitely outside of my comfort zone in terms of the shape, the amount of color. Well, color and drama, I guess. That's really what's like making me unsure. And I decided to go full raccoon mask because that eye shape got a little funky. Had a major fallout situation from that dark outer color I added. What I did is I took off the concealer all the way up to the edge of the eyeshadow without actually touching that edge. My hope with doing that, and the reason why I'm sharing it with you, is that I'm hoping I can put more concealer and kind of blend to that line, but not lose that beautiful soft edge. That's the goal. Every time I'm feeling specifically self-conscious about something on my face, I tend to call it out in the video, and a lot of times I edit it out because it feels really silly to call out an imperfection so trolls could find it and talk shit. I'm not gonna call out what's really annoying me today, but I'm definitely having one of those days. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. Literally yelling at my eyes to stop watering. How dare they have that audacity. Another little thing that I did off camera that I wanted to mention. If you are using, again, a sticky base like a glitter glue, and you feel like a shadow is looking crinkly or even flaky on your eyes, especially if it's shadows like some of these that have a very like flaky texture to them, because you have that sticky base down, you can actually benefit yourself by going in with your finger and just swiping all over, like just I did it from lid on up, and anything that's stuck down and, you know, beautifully shiny pigmented will stay there, and that flaky texture of like extra pigment will generally come off with that motion. It either comes off or it gets like kind of buffed into the eye. Either way, it's a benefit to the overall look of the eye. Okay, so I'm back. I have my full face done and lots of mascara and some black eyeliner added to the eyes. This is the second look in a row that I've done a black waterline tightline situation. It's very out of the norm for me, but I followed Hannah's lead on this and feel like it really fits the kind of darker, grungy, colorful look. So I'm not against a black waterline eyeliner situation, just learning to love it on me. So that is the finished face. I did a bit of a warm and cool combo with the bronzer and peachy blush paired with the lips and the eyes, and try to let the eyes keep the spotlight. I wonder if the camera is catching any of the complexities of these multichromes. Nice thing with something like these, so Davina, they have these two formulas, the Candy Exploders and the Galaxy, and I think they have some called Butterfly. And so like these have more of a white base and these have more of a black or dark base. So I do think that you can play around if you already have these in your collection, or if you're looking for something a little bit more budget friendly. This can be a fun way to play around with two different formulas. The Clionadh are still on my wish list and my lust list and own a piece of my heart, but I'm gonna keep playing with these. I'm gonna make sure that, you know, these beauties get some attention too before I bring in something that's definitely going to steal the spotlight in my collection. What do you think? Would you rock something like this? Again, a multichrome can be a beautiful one shadow look. I will definitely do that again with the first shadow I played with. If you're feeling a little scared to jump right into the multichrome and, you know, duochrome world, I really love playing with ones like these for the inner corner, because you could do a much tamer neutral eye and throw this like purpley golden beautiful color in the inner corner and steal the show with that. But you know me, I like it bold and colorful and shiny. So that's really it. That's all for this video. If you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe and follow all my colorful shenanigans. Thank you again for spending a little bit of your day with me. I hope to see you again real soon. Bye, friends.